welcome everyone to Digital Media Technologies Department at East Stroudsburg University. We'd like to thank you all for coming. And actually, let me get my clicker going here. Good thing, I know, right? We got to go full power. So here we are at the Provost Colloquium Series, and we are lucky enough to actually have the Provost here. Yay! This is Joe Bruno. Those of you who don't know, the Provost actually does a great deal of work behind the scenes for all of us, especially for the students. And it's a tough job, but she does an amazing job at it, and we're very thankful. And in fact, a lot of the equipment that we'll be using here tonight actually is here as a result of the work of our Provost. So thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. So I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Jason Engerman. Myself, I am Dr. Richard Otto. I'm the Chair of Digital Media Technologies. We've been working on this event and the research behind it for about a year, trying to bring esports to campus. However, as I say here, while Jason and I are in front of the cameras and on the posters, actually, most of the work is actually being done by our students. And they're actually behind these walls doing a lot of work, and we're going to see them very soon, but we're very proud of them. They've been doing a great deal of work. So I'm going to pass the baton to Jason.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. So again, my name is Dr. Engerman. I am a learning scientist, but first of all, I am a play scholar. And what that means is I like to be a little goofy sometimes, so sometimes I'm going to be a little goofy. As a learning scientist, we take people, environments, and technology, and we mash those things together and try to make optimal learning environments. So that is really what I'm doing here. My research is at the intersection of interactive media, transformational pedagogy, and civic change. Okay, so some of those words you might know, some of them you don't know, and so for some of my students here, basically I take cool stuff and I blend it together with other cool stuff, mix it up, so that we can have some optimal learning environments, all right? So, this is what we're going to go over today. The purpose of this meeting is basically to introduce the campus to this worldwide phenomena of esports. Some of you may know what it is. Some of you may not know what it is. So we're going to try to get that sweet spot in the middle and kind of cater especially to those that aren't in the know. All right? So we're going to talk about what is esports. We're going to talk about the future of esports. We're going to talk about the vision of ESportsU here. That's where we are. And the digital warrior. And then we're going to kick it over to a live event for you to actually show you what it is. So you can actually feel it. All right? That's really neat. So what is it? Many of us know games like Super Mario Brothers, or maybe it's Madden, or maybe it's NBA 2K, where we are competing in an electronic space and place at a very, very high level. And you see a lot of shouting, a lot of energy, and a lot of fire. And because one of the main ingredients of esports is that competitive component, that competitive drive. You have a lot of casual players, people that just like to, I don't know, Candy Crush, you know, a little bit of that action, sounds familiar, right? Or maybe they might play Madden with their friends or something like that. But when we play at a longer distance and probably in more competitive spaces, we get to that space of esports, which has now risen to a multi-billion dollar, well, not multi-billion, but multi-hundreds of millions of dollar industry, which we'll talk about in a minute. What's interesting about esports is that we have all ages and all skill levels competing in the space, some as young as 12, 13, 14, 15. And what's interesting is that esports, actually, the professionals are anywhere between really 15 to 25. That is probably the normal age of esports players. And after they hit that 25 mark, they're considered old, if you can imagine that. But that's true. That is the truth. The barriers to entry have broken down. All you need is a PlayStation or a console or a computer and internet access, and you can be involved in an esports event. Key features of esports are telecommunications and co-location. Telecommunication, the ability to communicate across the geographical boundaries, which is really neat. The co-location part is actually being able to do work with other people or activities at a distance. I can be playing with someone in China or Australia or South Africa or Mexico in real time, which is really neat, and we're doing actual work together. Me as a games-based learning scholar and a play scholar, I can attest to this work that's actually being done, both cognitively and non-cognitively. What that means is, on the cognitive side, we see real results and outcomes in terms of problem solving, in terms of higher order thinking. Okay? okay, and things of that nature. And then the non-cognitive side would be things like leadership skills that are being developed, collaboration skills, teamwork skills. We see all those things actually happening from a very empirical stance. We can actually prove it, we can see it. So there's team collaboration, there's streaming, which is the lifeblood of esports in general. Also, it's entertainment. It is entertainment. That's why we get there. We want to be entertained, and we enjoy the space with other people. The community building is really, 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 really important. And we see that happening a lot in terms of the data, and the research shows that as well. Digital content creation, that's what it's driven by. You've got to be able to develop good content that other people will want to watch, because the bottom line for esports is it makes its revenue through ads. That's generally how it makes its revenue, through sponsorships and ads and partnerships. That's what it does. And so the new commodity is eyeballs. That's the new commodity. And we're seeing a lot of the new generation start to really, really take hold of this digital space and this activity that's occurring. Where is it? Everywhere. I don't know where you've been, but esports is everywhere. All right? Anyone familiar with CES? It is the Consumer Electronics Showcase. 170,000 people descend on Vegas every single year. And one of their main events are esports events, whether it's League of Legends or whether it's CSGO, okay? Whether it's Dota. That's what they're seeing there. That's what they're playing there. And ESPN also has a tab that says esports on it. So lots of those sportscasters, they're the ones that are actually at the game and at the space. It's in the NFL, it's in the NBA. The NFL has a Madden series already, an E-League series with Madden, so every single one of the teams has a player that represents them already. The NFL has many, many teams that they've already bought into, which we'll talk about in a second. European football, FIFA. Generally, the Europeans, they've had about 30 professional teams that have bought into the esports agenda already and have bought teams and are working with them. Goldman Sachs got into the mix, a couple $100 million. And Comcast. Comcast is the largest media conglomerate in the world. Just bought a fusion team in Philadelphia for $20 million. That's a lot of cash. That's a lot of cash. All right, so ESL PlayStation View is a 24-hour esports channel that you can watch. And then we have Jinx, which is a European-based, and particularly England, London owns that channel. That's also another 24-hour streaming broadcast. So that's pretty impressive as well. So then we see, where is it in particular for us, right? Because we're higher education. So what we see is that, well, 50 plus varsity teams exist across the USA. These are varsity teams that are actually offering scholarships. Big Ten Network and Riot Games have a partnership through 2019 to broadcast esports games. It's particularly LOL, that's their game if you didn't know. Division I, Division II, and Division III have esports games. Ontario Colleges Athletic Association, that's in Canada. National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics. The Northwestern Association Conference, Athletic Conference. The National Junior College Athletic Association. And near and dear to our heart, in Pennsylvania, we have actually a couple. Harrisburg University has just dedicated 3 particular teams to esports. They have gotten a coach. They have a director, which I just spoke to yesterday, great individuals. And Lackawanna College actually pulled the trigger for an esports team as well. So we can see it near and dear to our home, to us. Penn State University is kind of working through that esports space, but they've got about 7 or 8 teams that they're working with in terms of clubs already. So we see that across the nation, a lot of movement is happening at a very, very rapid pace around esports and what it is and its potential. So, what is the future of esports? Well, in order to understand the future of esports, we gotta have to understand what's happening right now. And so I'm going to share with you a couple of things that you may not have known about that's happening in terms of entrepreneurship and businesses that are being developed around esports. Right? By first starting here. One of the things that I do as a learning scientist is understand that fusion of innovation. I want to understand how technology gets infused into the public and how fast and why that occurs. And so this chart really shows us how technology gets infused and consumed by the masses, by the people. You can see here that we've got, The refrigerator basically took about 40 years to gain adoption before it didn't taper off, before it was considered adopted. You can see things like color TV took about 20 years roughly before it was adopted. And then you can see down there on the bottom right, they have the 1990s where it says internet, exponential. Really, really fast. It happens really fast. And the things that are built on top of the internet happen even faster. And so the esports phenomena that's occurring is allowing us to grow at this rapid pace because it's built on top of the internet, lightning speed. Okay, and so that kind of it helps us understand what's happening in the space and why it's growing at such a rapid pace. So, here are a couple things that I want to show you. Super League Gaming. Anyone ever heard of Super League Gaming? Not so much. All right, so I'm breaking new ground. You're about to learn something. I'm about to learn something today. So Super League Gaming is city-based competitions across, obviously, cities. But what the interesting thing about their model is that they use movie theaters. They use movie theaters as the home base to do the competitions. And so they don't have that upfront cost of building an arena. Why do that? They just partner with movie theaters. And you battle across the states and across the city to city. In 2016, they had about 4 cities. In 2017, that blew up to 12. Incredible. The games that they're playing are League of Legends, Minecraft, and now Clash. Now they're playing Clash. So that's the 3rd game that they're playing, and they're doing incredibly well. Here's another place. Generally, bars are generally, they're places where people hang out, they socialize, they hang out. Well, imagine taking Dave and Buster's and combining it with a bar. You've got Meltdown. They've got their own team. They've got their own franchise. This is franchised out. It's franchised out to the point where they've got probably about 20 to 25 to 30 different franchises all across Europe. And in fact, they've got 3 of them in Canada, which is really, really fascinating too. Then, Team Dignatas. Team Dignatas developed an all-women's Counter-Strike team. That's really fascinating, right? I think that's really fascinating. It's really inclusive. It's cutting edge. It's brilliant. It's innovative, right? But that's not even the really cool part. See, the 76ers own them. Since the 76ers own them, they get to use the 76ers facilities, their health care, their health and management, their masseuse, their trainers. They're sitting side by side with the 76ers, working out, using their facilities. Incredible. Incredible. And this is happening all over the league. So, people talk about the Winter Olympics, right? When's esports going to enter the Olympics? It's already been there. It's already been there. In Korea, Pyeongchang, they had 2 esports tournaments already, League of Legends and a new one. I think it's called Seek, which was one of the groundbreaking tournaments at the event. The interesting thing is it was already there, and Intel is kind of leading the way in esports and partnerships and developments around the world. And so it was already there. It was already present. And so now it's just a matter of time before it becomes an international Olympic sport. So, what job opportunities are there? There's tech, there's reporting, live events, there's management. In all of these spaces, right? Software engineering, IT specialist, interactive media, video production, graphic design, web development, creative content, shoutcasting, journalism, market specialist, on and on and on. There's probably a bunch that I missed. So as you can see, there's a ton of opportunity in this space as esports starts to expand and grow an entire, take over the entire world, essentially, I think. And here's one of the things that we need to be looking at here. So as we look at the 500 million viewership that it has around the world, and its infusion and its adoption, not only in higher ed, but just generally as an industry that will probably see about 1.5 billion by 2020, there's a vision that we could have possibly here. And we believe that this could be it, or a part of it at least. Connected communities, centered around connected communities, centered around the ideas that we are together, and we are working and doing work together as groups, as units, and it's one of the cornerstones of esports experience anyway. And so rooting, these are the 4 pillars, rooting it in that, we think would be really beneficial to the university. The next is entrepreneurship, and thinking about entrepreneurship in a different way, not in terms of just being in charge in this hierarchical model, but instead of a hierarchical model, which says that I understand the ecosystem of a business, and I can enter it as I see fit, as my skills and talents would suggest I can enter that particular market. So having more control over your skills and your talent, that's really what entrepreneurship is about. And so I think that we think that esports is a really great vehicle to unravel that and unpack that. The digital creativity is clear. It is driven by digital creativity and digital content creation. So we believe it's one of the hallmarks of the space. And last but not least, obviously, is academic research to transform learning pedagogy, to transform how we teach and learn on a regular basis and how we think about teaching and learning in general as an emergent experience. So we believe there are opportunities for collaboration, obviously, across the entire college. What you'll see next is that collaboration actually happened live in real time, and as I pass it off, between CMST and communications and obviously computer science as well, the DMET and sports management. And then we've already done that. This example here shows that here's some of the groundwork for the space that we've done. We've already been in communication and collaboration with the ESU Esports Association, and we're trying to build that club already. Digital media marketing track that the DMET is developing and proposed. We're presenting at CLS all of this work that these students are doing, and the digital creativity in the experience age, toward digital creativity in the experience age. And so, with that, we're actually going to see what that looks like a little bit as I pass it off to my colleague, Madison George.
Yeah. So, a little bit about esports and the nature of it. Now we're going to move into what we're actually doing this evening, obviously. And the idea is, how do we bring esports to ESU? And the idea is to bring it into an academic discipline. So, as educators, we're always thinking about how do we teach complicated material. That's what we do as professors. We take this material that we want to impart to students, and we're trying to find what is the best way that we can help students to understand this material. So if we take a look at this image, you might recognize something like this. So we have a lecture hall, basically. This is from somewhere between 1910 and 1920 at Iowa State. And here we have a modern lecture hall at Bruce College in New York City. And even though 100 years separates this, I think we can see, obviously, there's some similarities there. So here we have another image for, this is at UConn, nice looking classroom. But then we have something a little different here. So if we take a look at this, this is an image from an article by Howard Rheingold, who is the author of Smart Mobs, which is a pretty legendary text which looked at the coming age of interactive media. And so if we look at these two side by side, we can see the sort of the energy and creativity, the color, and the slide with the young students, as opposed to a lecture hall, which obviously is functional and works, but it's a little different. And so what we're thinking is there a way that we can bring some of that energy, some of that creativity that we have in a classroom that we would have for younger people, and bring it into the college experience. So an article, this is Mimi Cruz was writing an article called Creativity is Fundamental for Lifelong Learning, and as part of this she did an interview with Mitchell Resnick, who's an MIT professor in their MIT Media Lab, which actually was just showcased on CBS last week, I think on 60 Minutes. Pretty amazing place. They're doing some unbelievably cutting-edge things. They've been doing it for a very long time. Talking about lifelong learning, essentially. But what he says here is, creative thinking has always been and will always be a central part of what makes life worth living. Life as a creative thinker can bring not only economic rewards, but also joy, fulfillment, purpose, and meaning. Children deserve nothing less. But what if we made a sort of a minor alteration to that idea, as opposed to just children deserve nothing less? What about students deserving nothing less? What about college students? Is there a way that we can bring a little bit more creativity in the way that we're doing our teaching? So what are the possibilities? Trying to bridge the gap between STEM learning, complicated learning, and student interest. So here we are, DMT, we do digital media production. That's what we do basically. It's complicated stuff. We're trying to always find ways to help students learn this material. So the idea is for students to take this knowledge they're obtaining in classes, bring it into the real world essentially. So DMT is a STEM discipline. Technically, we're not currently listed as a STEM discipline. However, if we actually look at the listing from the National Center for Educational Statistics, this is one of their new breakdowns or descriptions of a STEM program. It actually fits exactly what DMT does. This is what our students do. Basically take this electronic technology and use it to create new content and then manage that content. So what do we know? Esports is an important new phenomenon and will become a larger entertainment societal force now as we move into the future. We're really just at the beginning of this. Students like gaming, they like fun, events, competition. These are all things that esports does, and it does it really well. So esports, I think we can even see from tonight, there is certainly interest in esports. Student engagement at a college campus is always a good thing. The more engagement, the better, basically. And that brings in things like fun, creativity, inspiration. These are all things that we want to bring about. DMT does obviously STEM work. We basically build our students to create digital media content. Therefore, how can we bring together esports, engagement, and learning? The idea that we've been working on this year is this idea called organic STEM learning, or basically natural learning process, taking complicated STEM knowledge, in this case DMT, digital media knowledge, from the classroom and facilitating real-world learning experiences, take that content from the classroom and make it real for students. So how do we do that? So over the year, basically, we've had a few goals. The first goal was to cultivate and observe organic STEM learning as students use their skills they've acquired in their coursework to achieve their objectives. That is what's happening actually beyond these walls right now. In the C classroom, there are students preparing to game. There's also camera equipment throughout the department. We're going to be doing an actual live esports event in a few minutes, and they will be broadcasting, and you will actually see them sending this out over Twitch. That's what all the cameras are for. So they're actually doing organic STEM learning. Students wanted esports. We said, okay, let's find a way to facilitate and make that happen. Number two, facilitate the establishment of a sustainable student-organized esports community. That's what the students have been doing for this whole year, basically. Just trying to find a way to make this happen here at ESU. And then create a template for developing a student-centered esports program at a university like this one, and perhaps that can then be replicated by other institutions. Perhaps we can be one of the originators for the PASSY system. So what we've been trying to do is seeking to understand meaning-making, the process developed at the crossroads of play and digital media content. As Jason was saying, basically, that's if we can find that sweet spot between fun and learning, it's going to be better for everyone. So organic STEM learning, as I explained, is what we're trying to achieve here. And so that helps us bring us to the ESU Digital Warrior. So there's the group behind these walls are doing, and this was actually the first day when we all got together basically to try to figure out how can we make this happen, to figure out the technology and make it all work essentially, and we've been doing it for the entire year. So the Digital Warrior. So the motto of DMT is where the digital becomes creative. That's basically what we try to do. We talk about things, then we go do them. We talk about videos, we go make them. We talk about websites, we go build them. So students, the idea is for students to become proficient in these different DMT skill sets, web design, photography, video, and then take that knowledge and then do it in a real world setting. And if you boil that down or think about that idea, it's organic STEM learning, and the idea is creative media muscle memory, okay? Just like if you know that in sports, basically there's an idea called muscle memory. The idea essentially is you do something over and over and over to the point where it just becomes natural. So you don't want to be in the critical moment in a football game and you need to throw the ball at a particular point on the field and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I do that? You've done it so many times, that's muscle memory, you can do it automatically. You don't have to think about it, you just make the ball go where you want it to go. That's what we're trying to achieve with video production. The students here tonight, they had a limited time to set this up. We practiced this over and over and over, helping the students get to this point where they could literally set up this entire production in a half an hour with 4K cameras, 4K switcher, plug it all together, make it happen. We're going to be about to broadcast in a few minutes. So the emergence of the Digital Warrior. The goal was to facilitate, and this is what we've been trying to accomplish, students organizing and producing esports events, including the creation of digital marketing material, which they did, multi-camera live recording, which we're doing right now, recruitment of teams. There's the two teams are basically in the C classroom getting ready to battle it out. The crew members are all working to make this all happen, as well as all the logistics, the creative decisions, everything it takes to make this event happen. So here's some images from the work that they've been doing over the semester, over the year actually, trying to get all this together, figure out this from a technical point of view. And these are some of the skills that they're using and have been using to make all this happen. They've had to create videos and do editing and graphics and shoot photography. They're broadcasting it out on Switch in a 4K switcher. It's all very complicated, but they're doing an amazing job. So the content that we've created for this event, or the students have been created for the events, and these are flyers that they passed out to tell students about the events as they were moving forward. So there we were at the last event, basically right before we were getting ready to do this. And the great thing about this is that we were actually bringing students together, and it just sort of happened organically, was students from all across different disciplines, basically. So we had, obviously, DMET students, but we also had students from all these other disciplines, sports management, communication, biotech. They all just wanted to actually come and learn this, how to do this, basically, and make this esports evening happen.
MJ, why don't you tell us about your background and what you do in this profession?
I am a alumni from ESU, 1989. I'm currently in the television industry, primarily working as a freelancer for the UFC and also for a lot of the local New York teams here, as well as owning a rental house, renting broadcast facilities to the broadcast industry, mainly in the form of wireless technology, microphones, IFBs, intercoms, that type of technology.
So we have students here that are working on the esports production and been walking around, seeing what they're doing in terms of setup and production. What are you seeing? Tell us what you're seeing.
Well, I'll steal your term. I'm seeing an organic or grassroots, foundation being laid here for a TV production, which is it's pretty cool to see. No matter what happens or evolves, you're always going to need the foundation of a broadcast, whether it's gaming or sports or entertainment. The foundation is the same. Cameras, sound, video, those are always going to be there, and it's definitely happening with esports here.
So in terms of production, obviously, as we have the students working on this, we're trying to bring esports here to ESU. What do you kind of foresee in terms of job-wise for people who are able to do this type of production and have production skills and understand how to work in the industry, basically? What do you see the industry evolving into in the next 5, 10, 15 years? What are kids going to need for that world?
Well, the gamers are the ones that are definitely going to be the rock stars of the future, I think. The company that I freelance for that does the UFC also does Riot Games. And while I haven't worked on any of those on site, I've worked with many of the guys that have been on site doing those shows. And it's pretty incredible to see how fast and how widespread the excitement is over gaming. And again, as far as the future of the technology, obviously, IT and gaming and those types of positions are always going to be vital to that. But in the broadcast world, you're always going to need, your audio guys, your utility guys, your tech managers on site who have to lay down the infrastructure, no matter where it is, whether it's a site that's being broadcast back to a master control or on-site production itself. You're always going to need those people.
Okay, so if you build it, they will game. We've been talking about esports, obviously, and this is ESportsU. There's about a 7-second delay, so we gotta. Oh, it's actually now you're actually going to see the show. Yeah, they're actually going to switch it right now, so you got to switch over. So they're actually in Joan's office, our secretary's office right now. So they are going to be doing the broadcasting.
What League of Legends is all about?
League of Legends is a MOBA-styled game. MOBA standing for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. It's a 5v5 type game where the main goal is to take out the opposing Nexus. Nexus being located in each enemy's base.
Yeah, we got that.
In order to accomplish that, there are layers of turrets that are kind of in your way. So the goal is for champions to push through those turrets and get to the Nexus. There are 3 lanes and 5 roles. 3 lanes being top, mid, bottom. And the 5 roles being top laner, mid laner, jungler, marksman, and support. Each champion is unique in their own way. They have a unique set of skills. Champions are there to accomplish certain things. Can you explain to us what certain champions do?
Of course I can. So there are tanks, fighters, assassins, mages, marksmen, and enchanter supports and initiator supports. Each champion has 3 normal abilities and 1 ultimate ability that they will acquire at level 6. Now, can you explain to us, Dom, how these champions get stronger?
Of course I can. Champions get stronger in 2 main ways. 1, gaining experience. You gain experience by killing minions or champions. You gain experience to gain levels. Each time you put a level into an ability, it gets stronger and you have more base stats. The other main way of getting stronger is with gold. So you would get gold by taking out towers, killing champions, or killing minions. You use this gold to buy items that give you certain stats. They can make you harder to kill. They can make it easier for you to kill people. And they can have a plethora of abilities that they have attached to them. As we're loading in here, I guess we can talk about what the impact of League of Legends is and some of its history.
Okay. So when League of Legends first went into the esports realm, it was their first World Championships was held in Europe. There were only 8 teams invited, and the prize pool was only $100,000. Now, fast forward 6 years into Season 7 of Worlds, and we see that there are 24 teams invited, and the prize pool initially started at $2.25 million and ended at just under $5 million with the help of the League of Legends community purchasing merchandise from Riot Games, the creators of League of Legends. Now,
so as
we're
we're
loading in,
we're waiting for the delay, and we'll be able to see this match. We're live at twitch.tv/ESU Esports. We're keeping a small eye on the chat for those that are in the chat that want to talk to us. So yeah, as we're loading in, we'll kind of explain like the very basics as it goes on. And so we're looking for some big events such as we want to see kills, we want to see people taking turrets, we want to see people taking dragons, which are located within the jungle, within the realm, between the lanes.
I think we should explain what the jungler does.
Yeah.
So what the jungler does is that he has his own set of camps that he takes in order for him to get gold.
Yep.
Along with that, he also helps his teammates create lane leads and also take objectives such as Dragon and Baron, and also help take down turrets. That is the main goal of the jungler.
Yep, and then the other roles, you have top lane, 2 top laners against each other, nothing crazy. Same with mid lane. With top laners, it's mostly like tanks and fighters. Mid lane, you usually have 2 mages or assassins against each other. Bot lane, you have 2 marksmen, which are meant to carry the game, more like meant to lead the direction of the game, do a lot of damage. And you have, supporting them, you have 2 supports. And those supports are meant to make the marksmen stronger, so it's easier for them to carry the game and win. And
All right.
we're loading into the
We're
game
getting
here.
in right now. We have Team Crimson and Team Obsidian. Crimson is on, I believe, red side, and Obsidian is on blue side. So we have the champions.
I think it's the other way around.
Oh, is it the other way around?
Yeah, so you see the blue here.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yep.
Okay. So we have the champion Nasus in the top lane, who's meant more of a late game style role, where he farms up minions to gain strength in his one ability called the Siphoning Strike. Sounds complicated, but if we get to that point, we'll see it doing a lot of damage. So look out for him in the late game.
So we're seeing each team is starting in their respective jungle, looking out for invades in case anyone wants to get cheesy.
So start off the game, we usually see champions, mostly in the boss side of the map, help the jungler out with the first camp.
They don't have their abilities yet. They still
Right.
have to work on that.
Their jungler's still rather weak early on, so they need the help of their bot lane to take a camp. I don't know why Crimson's Vladimir just decided to walk on a turret. That is...
He took a tower shot. You want to stay away from towers. Towers will attack you and do a lot of damage if you get within their range. So what you normally want is to have minions tank tower shots for you. The minions, we'll see, they're starting to come into lane soon. And you normally want those to be there as you hit the tower. If those minions aren't there and you're the only thing there they attack, it's going to do a lot of damage to you. We're looking at a leash here. We're looking at Team Crimson's bot lane. Team Crimson's bot lane is going to help their jungler take this camp. This camp will help them gain a level and be able to clear the rest of his jungle.
Now this buff that they are taking is normally called red buff. And we'll get to that and then we'll talk about blue buff. So red buff, what it does is that it gives the champion holding it a health per second increase, and their auto attacks also do a burning damage, and they also slow the targets that are hit. Blue buff, on the other hand, gives them 10% cooldown reduction for their abilities, as well as mana regeneration. So that is basically what the buffs are. The junglers in this game are Cho'Gath on the Crimson side, who's meant more of a tankier role, but can do a lot of true damage based on how big he is. You'll see him gain in size and in power as the game progresses. On the Obsidian side, we have Kayn, who can be based off of a more tankier version, one who will do more damage based on healthier targets. As you see, a big trade.
Yeah, we're looking like Team Crimson's
gank already.
Team Crimson's
Cho'Gath's gonna hit him with a knockup.
This is what we call a gank. The Team Crimson's jungler just came into the top lane to assist and try to get a kill on Team Obsidian's top laner.
Right.
We're panning back to bot lane. We're seeing this is the basic laning phase is what we call it, and we're seeing it here too. Where they just sit there, they just farm out minions, try to get gold. If they can try to kill each other, but that's normally not the easiest thing to do. So that's why you're looking at them just kind of no crazy exchanges, just doing a little bit of damage to each other, trying to take out minions in order to get gold and gain levels.
So, back to what I was going about the champions. Kayn has two paths of which he can take. If he attacks ranged targets more, he'll become more of an assassin role. Where if he attacks melee champions, he'll become more of a fighter / bruiser role. So, those are the junglers we have. The mid laners, we have Vladimir, who's kind of more of an early game sustain. He heals a lot at the same time, damaging a lot. And
what is happening here? We have an invade in the
invade going
jungle.
on over here. Cho'Gath's trying to create some problems at the red side. Oh! Did he get it? I believe he got it. I think the red buff.
And they're managing to get out for almost free here. They're going to take a little bit of damage.
Riven's here. This is a 3v2. Nasus is not rotating right now.
Are we looking at a first blood? And that is first blood for Team Obsidian. Very, very nice.
Getting the first blood. That's 400 gold in the Riven's pocket, as long as extra gold for the teammates that assisted in that kill.
And that is huge because getting that gold early puts you at a massive lead because once the Riven goes back to her base and goes to her shop, she can spend that gold to get the items to make her stronger.
Right, so right now, he has a Caulfield's Warhammer. Now what we see, that Caulfield's gives 10% CDR and 25 AD, so he's going to be doing a lot more damage to this Nasus in the early game. And we have another trade going on the bot lane. Tristana's going in, double jumps, Soraka flashes away, Tristana flashes forward, everyone's flashing, the Soraka goes down to Morgana.
Morgana manages to get the kill. That is the support getting a kill on the support. There's still a trade going on here. The Tristana is looking to jump on the Ezreal and manage to get the kill.
And there we go, a double kill.
That is 2 kills for the bot lane.
The Obsidian bot lane. Cho'Gath's going to try to trade it back, but he will not be successful in that.
Doesn't look like he'll be able to do much. That's very big for the bot lane. Now you're going to see them have a bunch of gold. That's 3 kills right now for Team Obsidian. Team Obsidian has a big gold lead. The team with the more gold tends to have the stronger champions. The stronger champions tend to be able to take out the towers faster, therefore getting them the nexus quicker.
Right. So Tristana got the BF sword that has 40 extra damage on the Tristana side. The Ezreal, who scales more into. We have another tree in the top lane.
Yep, that's Team Obsidian's Riven
with the double buffs, putting on a lot of damage on the Crimson Nasus.
Yeah.
He's gonna try to chuck some potions, try to get that life back up. Oh, he's flashing in. Riven's flashing, and he gets another kill. 2-0 so far on this Riven.
Now, Riven is a champion that we like to call a carry. A champion that can carry, can get a lot of items, and just be a massive problem for the other team. She's going to be able to get the kill. She's going to be able to do a lot of damage, initiate. Looking very strong for Team Obsidian right now with 4 kills. Yeah, they have a 4-kill lead, and their gold lead looks to be about what is that, 2,000? 2,000?
About 2,000, a little more than that, but still, for 6 minutes into the game, that's a big goal lead. Yeah,
that is huge. And as we look at, so if you look down at the scoreboard, you can see next to the character portraits, they have a number assigned to it. That number is their creep score. That's the amount of minions that they managed to successfully last hit, and that's the gold that they get from it. So the more you have, the more gold you have. So if you look at the differences between like top lane, Riven and Nasus, the 25 to 47, Riven with a 47 CS has a massive lead. We're looking at a gank in the bot lane.
Another gank. Soraka, he's just gonna pop.
Yeah, they managed to get another kill. That's 5 kills on the Team Obsidian. That's not looking too good for Team Crimson. Team Crimson is going to be very behind, especially that bot lane.
They have to play real safe.
Yeah, they're going to
come back from this.
Yeah, the Tristana is 2-0-1, 2 kills, 0 deaths, 1 assist. We see a trade up top lane. This matchup, the champions that they're playing, Riven and Nasus.
Looks like we have a gank coming in from the Cho'Gath.
Cho'Gath misses his ability.
Tristana's going to try to jump onto the Ezreal, not going to be successful. Kayn grabbing the blue buff.
The spectator camera is looking a little sporadic, but we're trying to keep up here.
A lot of action going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Very early in the game. This normally does not happen, but yeah, I guess you think the Riven's going Death Stance first item.
Yeah,
that'll give her. Oh, and the Tristana jumps on the Soraka. The Soraka
has no chill when it comes to the rocket jump.
Yep, jumps
He's gonna walk
right on top of
him. Live this time, looking good. Kane's in the area. They got their support with him. Cho'Gath looks like he's heading towards the bot side of the map. Doesn't look like there's any camps as of now. Oh, there's one camp now. Maybe looking for a possible gank. Mid lane's been pretty relaxed so far.
Yeah,
quietest lane.
Very quiet. Nothing really happening. The creep score lead is leading in favor of Team Crimson's mid laner, but only by 14. So that's not too bad. They're looking to trade here.
Not much damage going down. Vladimir can heal right back up.
Vladimir being the Team Crimson mid laner, takes a tower shot, and Rise being the Team Obsidian mid laner. We're looking back down here. We have. All right, we're going back to mid lane. So we're back to bot lane. We have Ezreal, who is the marksman for Team Crimson, and Soraka, and we have a trade.
Another trade. Tristana jumping in once again, gets a max bomb. That's one of Tristana's main damage abilities.
Yep. Tristana is the marksman on Team Obsidian.
Right.
Morgana being the support on Team Obsidian. Soraka being the support on Team Crimson. I think we covered that.
So let's explain what the bot laners do right now before any more trades going on, because there seems to be a lot of trading happening.
There's a lot of action happening.
A lot of action. All right, so the Soraka, her main focus is to heal. She heals up damage, and that's just about it. She has a silence, but her main objective is to keep her teammates alive. The Morgana is there to provide CC, and CC standing for crowd control, so stuns and roots stuff
Anything
like
that locks down champions so they can't move, and it makes them
Basically.
easier to kill.
And as well as she has an ability that prevents her allies from getting hit by
This
other
gank top.
crowd control.
The Riven manages to escape. Riven being Team Crimson's top
But
laner.
can come for a counter gank. There's a Soraka ult coming in, keeps them all alive. Now we have the Vlad roaming. He's gonna pop his ultimate. He's gonna pull in. Doesn't look like he's gonna get anyone with it. And we have some low health bars. Ezreal ult comes in. The Kane flashes in.
The
Kane is gonna die.
Kane dies to the Nasus up in the top lane. Now we're looking at bot lane. We see a trade where the Tristana is jumping on the Soraka and manages to nab a
That's a lot
kill.
of damage.
The Tristana is looking very fed, getting a lot of gold onto that champion, and that champion is meant to carry. It looks like we have a bit of a switch here. I believe Team Blue is Obsidian now, and Team Red is Team Crimson.
Oh, okay.
So the overlay kind of lied to us, but now we get an idea of like what the teams actually are. That makes it a lot easier. The
Apologize for that.
Tristana is jumping onto the Ezreal
Gonna
under the tower.
flash. He's gonna ult.
Wow.
Wow, that's so much damage. She's 4-0-1 right now at 10 minutes.
She's doing so much damage. She has so many items. She's getting so much gold funneled into her. She's going to be able to carry the game. She's 4 kills, 0 deaths, 1 assist. She has not yet went back to her base to grab more items because she's probably sitting on a lot of gold. Right now, just looking at, we have Obsidian with 1 kill and Crimson with 7 kills. The gold difference is about 4K, so that's a lot. We're looking at a Shogath gank in the bot lane.
He's gonna try to do something. The exhaust comes out from the Morgana. Tristana gonna lay in some auto
Tristana is
attacks.
too strong.
Another bind lands from the Morgana. The Kane's here now. He's gonna try to finish up this kill, and he's going to
And the
finish up
Tristana
the kill.
gets another kill.
Kill for Tristana. 5-0 on this Tristana. Crimson's bot lane is putting in massive work for
Putting
them.
in a lot of work given the corporation. They're 6-0 right now, and I believe they're bot lane. Wow.
Another binding on the Ezreal. The Tristana, he wants everything. Oh, he's gonna tank a tower. One more
Mid-
tower shot's gonna take him.
the
Soraka
Tristana
gets the
goes
kill.
down, and the Soraka gets the kill. So that is a shutdown, giving the that gives the enemies of Tristana more gold, getting the shutdown because they managed to get the kill after she was on such a hot streak.
So since Obsidian, right. So Obsidian, since they shut down Tristana, who's on a killing spree, the Team Obsidian's team
This looks like a
gets
really
big
deep trade on the
gold
top lane.
boost. Another trade coming in, the Nasus is gonna pop ult, the Riven's gonna flash away.
Yeah, all these champions are level 6, so they all have their ultimate abilities.
From Nasus.
The Nasus might be able to get the kill on the Riven here, and it looks like the Riven's going to be able to get away. We have the Rise, Team Crimson's mid laner running toward, and we're back to top lane, back to mid lane. Yeah, normally you have to pay people to get this camera work done, but right now it's kind of just doing it automatically. So, but hey, it happens. We can keep up.
Shogath lurking in the area of the mid lane.
If you look in the
See
bottom right,
Obsidian can do anything with that. Doesn't look like it. Nasus is going to farm up with that Q, like I said earlier. The more stacks that the Nasus gains with his Q sifting strike, the more powerful he's going to be later into the game. So, Crimson's going to have to put a big watch on that Nasus if we get into the late game stage of this.
we're going to try to keep a better eye on the chat. We got, where's my Corbin? Corbin, I thought he was playing. Yeah, Corbin being JWDT. That's your boy right there playing the Vladimir for Team Obsidian in the mid lane. So that's where your Corbin is. So actually, we got Corbin fans. We got a Dig Quill fan. Quill being their support on.
He is. I'm trying to find his name. He's a Nasus.
Yeah, Quill. He's Obsidian's top laner Nasus. Right now, nothing crazy happening. Are we looking at any dragons? No one's taking any dragons.
No one has taken a dragon yet. No one has taken a tower yet. Kane's going to make
We
his
have
way
team-
towards the bot lane again. Abani's going to land on the Soraka. It looks like we're going to finish up this kill. The Kane comes up with it this time.
So now we have a kill on the Kane on top of all those assists that he was getting. Assists still get you gold, by the way, so that still gets you
Good amount of gold.
real big.
Still good.
So
So let's look at these finished items. So far we have a Death Dance on the Riven. We have a Shirelia's first item on the Vladimir, a
That's
Sheen for
spicy.
the Ezreal. That is a spicy Shirelia's
I like
already.
I like
We
that.
have Eye of the Watchers complete on the Morgana. And that's about it. So we got another trade coming in from the mid lane this time. Rise is gonna get pushed out of here.
Looks like the
Vlad
Vladimir
ult.
popped
Looks
ult.
like he could go. Oh, we're going
And we're back to top lane.
Oh,
Looks like
Vladimir
a
gets the
2v1. Oh, and mid lane.
And
Okay.
the Riven gets killed.
That was a lot that just happened at one time, and our camera did not manage
Beautiful
to cover.
spectator camera.
Yeah, I love the spectator camera that's putting in that work. It is automatic. When you get the big bucks, that's when you can start paying people to control it for you, but that's not happening right now. Looks like we have a bit of a skirmish in the jungle. So checking out the chat, Lucify wants a shout out. Hey, how you doing? Layson wants a shout out. Hey, how you doing? And yep, yeah, it's definitely a slaughterfest out here, that's for sure. Explain which characters are which for people who don't know. Yeah, as we kind of touched on this earlier on, but yeah, so if you look at the left and the right, so on the left you have, from top to bottom, the Nasus, Shogath, Vladimir, Ezreal, Soraka. Nasus being just a tank, he absorbs damage and he does a lot of damage once he scales. Shogath, the jungler, very tanky. Vladimir is kind of like a sustain mage, like a tank. Ezreal, the marksman, putting out consistent damage. Soraka being a healer. And then on the red side, you can explain more on those champions.
So before we get into that, it looks like we may have a fight here. The Soraka's going to flash away. Morgana's going to land a bind. Tristana's going to pick another kill on the Cho'Gath. Morgana's trying to get her ult off, but it looks like Zanya's right into the middle of the team, but she's going to flash out to safety.
So we've got a lot of action happening in the mid lane.
4 kills to 12.
It's looking
big spout.
Team Crimson definitely looks like they have the lead right now. It's looking like they can take the game.
About 6K gold lead right now.
Yeah.
Another lane from Soraka land. Soraka looks like she's gonna go down. Yes, she will go down to the Tristana. 9-1 right now.
This Tristana is looking big.
Infinity Edge, so she's gonna be pumping out even more damage. So
Tristana's doing probably the most damage.
Another binding. Morgana is just so good with the bindings right now.
Yeah, that Morgana
really securing the kills.
Yeah, that's the beauty of support. Supports they make sure they either make sure their marksman or carry doesn't get killed, or they make sure that they get the kills. And that Morgana is landing the crowd control.
No binding coming out this time, but Tristana did jump in like we've been seeing. Tristana's very aggressive this game.
We got
Binding's
3 people in the mid lane.
Land.
Shout out to Nerdy YouTuber. How you doing, Nerdy YouTuber? You got the shout out. Hope you're happy about that one. Who else is in the chat?
Let's see
yeah,
what we got.
If we got more people in the chat, say what's up, dude. We're here, we're talking.
Yeah, we got you guys over there in the Twitch chat. We're keeping it live here. All right, so let's try to get into these champions on the Crimson side before anything else happens. So Riven is kind of like a early game. She's a damage dealer.
They call
early
her a
game
bully.
is her roughest part. I mean, or depending on the matchup, it can be her roughest part. But if she does get ahead, she's really snowball-y. She'll be able to just crush lanes, and she'll do a lot of damage. Kayn with Tristana's gonna jump in.
Tristana uses the ultimate.
Will
she survive the tower shot? And the Vladimir
ultimate gets the kill.
Awesome.
So the Kayn, like we said earlier, it kind of just like doesn't do much in the early game. He'll gank. He could go through walls. You know, pretty normal champion. And then his big thing.
Real quick, we did not mention the first towers were taken in the bot lane. Towers equating to a lot of gold. That's one step closer to the Nexus.
I didn't even notice that.
I didn't even notice. There's a lot of action happening right now. There's a lot going on. Very hard to explain. They also cleared a dragon off the map. So there was a dragon that was taken that we also missed. The spectator cam, it doesn't give us all the juicy bits that we want.
It's not objectives.
Of course.
So, Kayn, we said earlier, if he attacks melee, we have another fight.
We have another fight. It's just
Riven trying to
constant play.
Get a kill in a 2v1. He will get the kill in the 2v1.
Can he get
Flashes
the
away?
We get spectator going back to the bot lane. We got the Rise, which is Crimson's mid laner.
Exhaust coming off from Morgana.
The overlay switched again, so now we're seeing Crimson is on the blue side and Obsidian on the red side.
Can we get some,
we're gonna need a little clarity on that.
Who is who?
Yeah.
Who is who?
Can we get someone from someone in the crew to explain to us which is which? Because we just had 3 different overlays.
I'm very confused.
Yeah, I am kind of confused.
You know, it's a good thing I have to say the Crimson who, Obsidian who, because I don't know what's going on. Cho'Gath's going to try to flash away. Here's the Kayn ultimate. He's going to dive inside.
To take the kill on the
He's going to
Cho'Gath.
take out the Cho'Gath as he increases his gold lead now to 1-5 on the Kayn.
Hey, Jose, could you? So it's switched. So Crimson is blue, Obsidian is red. All right. So now we know Crimson is the blue team, and Obsidian is the red team. All right, so we got that established.
Okay.
All right,
so anyway,
we're looking good. We're back in it.
Taking the red side for him. So what that means is that he's going to be able to do more damage to champions with higher health.
And he's very tanky, very hard to kill.
Right.
They're taking out another tower here,
some,
getting a lot of gold on their team.
So, all right, what we see right here as the Tristana jumps in yet again, doesn't look like it wants it though. He's going to get hit by a
immediately gets
the Vladimir ult looks like he's going to take him out, and it will take him out.
Their main damage source out right now.
Nasus looks like he's in trouble, but Soraka shows up to keep the Nasus alive. He's going to throw out another Q, flashes forward.
Nasus manages to get another kill.
Vlad's going in on the Morgana, a double knockup from the Cho'Gath.
Wow, this is looking really bad for Team Obsidian right now.
Now the Rise is getting chased down by the Cho'Gath. Will he get it? The Riven's getting chased
Nasus
down by
going for
Nasus.
another
One
kill.
more Q.
Another
a triple
kill.
kill for the Nasus. Cho'Gath looks like one more hit. No, not one more hit. Oh, he lives.
Oh, and the Soraka manages to nab it, the support.
silence
Wow,
gets it.
that was
What a bloodbath.
absolutely
An ace
insane.
for Crimson.
Wow, it was looking pretty bad for Team Crimson this entire time, but they really just brought it back.
A 5-4-0, a big swing and momentum for Team Crimson.
This is a concept that we call in League of Legends
A throw.
that and scaling. So when champions scale, that means that they get stronger. The more, like, obviously every champion gets stronger with more items, but certain champions like get exponentially stronger with more items and into the later the game. Nasus being one of those champions. The later the game gets, the stronger that man becomes. And right now we can see is he just got a triple kill in the top lane, almost just fending everyone off for himself. The Soraka keeping him alive with the heals.
Oh, Tristana's going to pick up a kill. Looks like Crimson Cho'Gath overstayed just a little bit. Tristana's going to try to jump away. Not that far. Two flashes
Nasus
coming
gets
in from
ulted
Crimson.
away.
And the Tristan is going down. Now 11-4. Dies twice in a row. It does pick up a kill.
Let us know in the chat. What team are you guys cheering for? What team are you guys
What team
on?
are we cheering for? We are not cheering for anyone. We
We're-
just want to enjoy it.
We're not cheering anyone. Well, chat, I want to know what team are you guys cheering for? Do we got more Team Crimson fans? Do we got more Obsidian fans? Do we do it? Press
wanna
one.
see that.
Dude, all right, press 1 for Crimson, press 2 for Obsidian. You heard me. Press 1 for Crimson, press 2 for Obsidian. I want to see what we got in the chat.
What do we have? Who is on whose side here?
Yeah, we want to see, like, because, I mean, it was looking like it was definitely in Obsidian's favor, but Team Crimson looks like they really want to bring this back, getting the scaling back in.
Looks like a 7,000 gold lead still to somehow, but they have shown a lot of promise and a lot of fight to come back from this.
They haven't managed to get a tower yet, but they can get a really good push going if they get another ace.
So, another thing we missed, Team Obsidian did get another Cloud Drake, which is a good thing to mention so we can explain what dragons do in here. So there are 4 types of dragons, and a 5th, but we'll get to that later. So the 4 types of dragons, we have a Cloud Drake, which gives movement speed, an Ocean Drake, which gives
everybody more
health
sustain
and mana over
health.
time when out of combat. There's an Infernal Drake, which gives everyone in that team a big damage boost. And we have a Mountain Drake, which basically does more damage to objectives and large monsters.
Objectives being turrets and large monsters being
Speaking
dragon
of large
Baron.
monsters,
Baron is in play.
Nashor,
Baron is
the
in play.
Great Baron Nashor coming in. I'm going to say it like that for the rest of the
Baron to shore.
Baron Nashor.
If you look towards the top, not even the top left, that big purple thing towards the left side of the mini map, that's a big objective. It takes the entire team. There's a big trade. Wow.
Looks like the Cho'Gath's going to get CC'd.
So that's their main tank, their main damage absorber down. But here comes the Nasus, the current carry of their team right now. He's coming into the fight. That can be a huge tide turner. But right now they just reset in the mid lane.
They look like
Nothing
they
too
wanna
spicy
fight.
happening.
We have some low health bars on the side of Team Obsidian. So the Redemption's going to come out. The Redemption giving a big heal to the team.
That's
so
the item that Dora Morgana has. Yep.
Vladimir's going to pull
Looks like a lot of people are leaving a little early. They guess they got their free food already. We got
another kill.
Their
on
rise.
Vladimir.
Yep. And yeah, the Vladimir gets killed. Vladimir is on Team Crimson.
Crimson.
So
Crimson
the Obsidian's mid laner, Rise, manages to nab a kill there. Rise gets way stronger the more items he gets. So that can be really dangerous. Looks like we got some 1s, we got some 2s. It looks like more 1s. It looks like they want to see the underdogs win here.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good
Another
underdog
tower
story?
being taken by Obsidian.
That's
They're
a
just
lot of
further
gold.
pushing their gold lead.
Looks
We
like a
have
catch out
knockup.
on the
No.
Nasus here.
We have Nasus.
The Nasus
possibly
manages
getting
to get
caught,
away.
but he's just gonna walk away. He's too
He
tanky.
gets right out of there. He's too big. And
So
it looks,
do we see the Kane trying to put
they
him some
catch out the
damage. He's gonna
Shogun.
dive in. He's gonna hold onto the Ezreal, the highest priority damage dealer. And but the Soraka will go down. Tristana has a double kill.
Tristana
and he jumps
under
into
towers.
a siphoning strike from the Nasus.
He played a very dangerous game. You normally don't want to be fighting under the turrets because once you attack another champion under a turret, the turret will attack you no matter what. And turrets do a lot of damage. We have a trade up here. The Riven, Team Obsidian's top laner, against the Vlad, their mid laner. The Riven flashes away using one of those summoners to get out. Manages to get a good trade here. The Vladimir wins that trade. Doesn't look too bad for the Vlad. The Riven's going to have to either reset, back, just heal up, grab some items, and the Vladimir looks like he's just going to push more waves, push the minions into the base of the enemy team.
So, looking at items right now, we have Rise with a fully completed Rod of Ages, fully stacked. We'll be doing a lot of damage. He has a Tear of the Goddess right now, which is basically mana scaling. since Rise's damage is based off of mana, so you really want to get mana-based items to
Yeah,
increase his damage output.
Mana is the resource that you use to cast abilities.
Correct.
So when you use an ability, it costs mana. So Tear of the Goddess, as you can see the Rise has, gives him more of that mana so he can use more of his abilities.
Right. We have a Black Leader on the side of Kane, as well as a Riven. Nass is working on towards some more defensive stats, because all he really needs is that Trinity Force, where you see
That gives him all the damage you can ever need.
triangular item.
Yep.
Gives him a lot of damage. We see a Proto Belt on the side of Vladimir. So what that does is it gives him a little bit of a gap closer.
Another Tower of
turret
Crimson's
going down.
being taken.
Number 5 for them.
They're getting closer and closer to that Nexus. As you can see, this is the
Another
last.
pick.
This is another good pick on the Shogath, their main damage dealer. That Shogath is having a bit of a hard time, but you know it happens. This is the last tower on the side of mid lane. Once they get past this tower, there is an inhibitor. Once they take out the inhibitor, they get big, beefy minions that can help them push down to the lane and get to that Nexus.
Big, beefy boys.
Big and beefy. Nothing beefier than those things.
So Tristana has 3 items currently right now with a cloth armor, so she could be looking for a Guardian Angel. What a Guardian Angel does is that when your life bar is taken out, it won't initially kill you. It'll put you in a status that will revive you, but only for, I would say about 30% of your HP. So Tristana's going to be working on that to get a second chance at life. Ezreal, the Crimson mid...
The Tristana jumps over the wall onto the support. Doesn't manage to get the kill yet. And manages to get the kill. Very dangerous. Not a good trade. They took out... So Team Obsidian lost their main damage dealer in exchange for their support. Not normally a good trade. The Shogun gets another kill.
Double kill. Uses his ultimate to take down the Riven. It looks like they're going to get another kill possibly. No, the Nasus goes down. Morgana's life bar is going low. She goes down. Now,
so it's 3-2, 3-2.
We have a double kill coming from the Vladimir.
Team Crimson looking like they want to win this fight. The Kane flashes on, manages to get a kill. That's 2-1 right now, 2-1.
The Kane's going to get
the Kane gets a double.
Now it's a 1v1 between Vlad and Kane.
Vlad and Kane, one is more better than the other. That's a knockup. The Vlad flashes away. He's managed to... and the kill. Wow.
Finishes it off.
That fight went so many different directions, but Obsidian manages to come out on top. That was a very long fight. And that was I was not sure which way that would swing at first. But
I believe out of all that, the ace goes towards Obsidian.
Obsidian looking like they want to take it here.
And on the map right now is another Cloud Drake. Kane looking like he's going for that. He will. The Soraka's going to find him with the redemption.
So here they're taking out a dragon. And
Kane should be able to take, there's no problem.
Yeah, unless the Soraka is a support, so it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, so that'd be a tall order.
Looks like they're not going to do it this time now. It's going to peel off.
Alright, shout out to Dylan in the chat. I see you, and shout out to Caleb. You snapped me, and it's probably a picture of the stream, so shout out to you, bud. Right now, it's just we're looking at something very neutral. We're getting to 30 minutes.
We're approaching. Tristana's going to try to trade with the Nasus. Nasus is going to slow down the Tristana. Flashes for a Q.
Nasus pops
over. Another Q. One more Q could possibly do it. No, a heal.
The Tristana heals. We see a heal here. The support. Wow. And the mid laner manages to take out the Tristana. The Tristana being Obsidian's main damage dealer.
And now the Morgana feels her
and the Morgana, the support. Obsidian support is gone too. That's 2 people off of Team Obsidian. They're out of the game right now. So it's 3-5 right now.
This is a big chance for Crimson to try to put some damage on the map, try to take some towers, and try to chip into this gold.
They can get their first tower. They need to get a tower.
There's pings towards Baron. They could be going for Baron. Baron's going to give them a big damage boost and enhanced recalls, which enhanced meaning in Riot terms. Their recall is going to be split in half from 8 seconds.
And they're taking out Baron. As you can see,
for Baron.
It takes a lot of people to take out Baron. Whichever team, it looks like they're going to get off of Baron.
Maybe not. Maybe they're hopping back on. 7,000 HP. Both junglers are alive. The Cho'Gath does have his ultimate, so he could... Riven's going to try to dive in, try to take someone out, but...
Riven managed to get taken out. It isn't the job of the jungler to secure the Baron. Make sure the last kill. What team manages to take it? It's getting narrowed down. Blue team takes it. Nasus takes the Baron. So on Team Crimson, the top laner manages to steal the Baron. So the Baron is going to be huge for Team Crimson. And the fight keeps going. Tristana's doing so much damage. So much damage.
4 kills so far.
They just cleared out everyone.
That Baron buff.
Nasus is the last one being alive. So the Baron is only... So now that all those people died, they lost their Baron buff. Nasus being the only one with the Baron buff. The Baron's going to empower the minions. make them stronger. Wow, that was absolutely...
We have a T-shirt coming out for the Baron. So congrats.
Let's go T-shirts, T-shirts.
T-shirt, let's go. Get some T-shirts out there here.
And then it's taking another tower.
The inhibitor tower is going to go down, expose
that tower's out.
The inhibitor will give Team Obsidian enhanced minions, tankier minions. They're going to be doing a lot of damage.
That's their final line of defense before they get to the towers that are defending the Nexus. So once they get past those, it's over.
Two now.
On the bot side, it looks like they're taking out that tower as well.
Team Crimson starting to respawn, trying to defend that bot lane inhibitor turret.
The Vladimir going for an exchange here. The Ryze just kind of runs it out. Morgana keeping him nice and safe. Morgana lands a binding.
Looks
like the Vladimir wants to go in.
The Vladimir wants to go in.
The Tristana
doesn't pull the trigger. He hesitates. He's going to run away.
Tristana jumps in. Oh my god. He manages to nab a kill. He does manage to survive there. In the top lane, we see the Nasus beating on that Riven.
One more. It doesn't look like he's going to get it. That Riven has a lot of gap closers.
Yeah, Riven has a lot of ways to be mobile.
Nasus is going to change.
Nasus is going for it.
He wants it. He senses blood. Has the Dead Man's Play. The Dead Man's Play going to give him more.
He's going to keep going. We're looking back at bot lane.
We're going to head back towards the bot lane.
That tower is looking
tower
really...
goes down. The Soraka flashes away. Guess what happens, Dom? The Tristana jumps in.
Dude, and I believe that was the Soraka that flashed away. They took out another inhibitor, so now bot lane, those minions are going to be even more big and beefy and going to push into the Nexus. Tristana is fighting the Nasus here.
Tristana hiding around the Soraka. Will he get
their
the kill?
Healer gets taken out.
Tristana's going to jump away. Redemption coming out from the Morgana.
Doing big damage to the Shogat. They take out the Shogat.
The Tristana's going to jump in again. He's going to take out the Ezreal.
Oh, and the Ezreal, they take out each other. So that's the main damage dealer of Obsidian down.
Now this is
the mid laner.
Crimson to get back into this
Crimson's coming in. Crimson, their top laner is taking out the Ryze after the mid laner Vladimir took out, I believe it was the Morgana. But if you can see in the mid lane, if you look at the mini map, it looks like the Kayn is coming to help, come to the aid.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, go for it.
Knocking on the Nexus turrets. There's a teleport coming in from the Nasus. The Kayn's not going to CC. Oh my god. We have.
See, this is the last line of defense before they get to the Nexus. The last line of defense, but they're going to have to back off because the Nasus came back.
So what the Kayn could have done right there, he could have knocked up the Nasus as he was teleporting back and stopped the teleport, and he could have let the Riven get more damage on the Nexus turrets and possibly could have taken one. So here we go. We have a line of defense coming in with the Cho'Gath and the Soraka.
Wow.
Team Obsidian trying to take this game in 32 minutes. Doesn't look like it's going to get it this time. More teammates from Cribs is going to respawn. They're going to try to chase down the Kayn. He is constantly getting slowed by the Ezreal's Iceborne Gauntlet.
That is what we call crowd control.
Crowd control.
They really get
part of this game.
This game is getting nice and long. They really got it. They're really going to try to close it out here. That if we look at the scores on each team, that Tristana on Team Obsidian, which is their bot laner, fourth one down, has a lot of items, has a lot of CS, 18 kills, 8 deaths, 8 assists. That is a big player looking to be the main role, the main character.
Oh my! Damage!
Where did that damage come from? I don't even. Was that the Vladimir?
I don't know what just happened to Tristana's HP bar, but that rocked.
Yeah, that was almost a kill onto the Tristana. That would have taken out their main damage source here, but
it would have at least knocked the GA though. She does.
Yeah. Oh, I did not see the GA. You are correct. That was a lot of damage. So much. Team Obsidian really looking at Vladimir going in.
Getting pretty low. He's going to try to portable out, and he's going to go down to the Kayn. The Soraka's getting a binding. He's going to get bursted by the Ryze.
So it's 4-5, 4-5. Can Team Obsidian take out their last line of defense here at the tower?
The mid laner's down for Crimson. This could be the end of the game.
That's tower down. Nothing is stopping the push here. They're just going to keep taking the towers. That's the last tower before they can take out the next.
Going to take out. Oh, the Ryze takes out the Soraka, but the Riven goes down in trade.
And the last tower is down. The Tristana jumps onto their carry.
Ezreal looks like he's going to go down.
Playing a very dangerous game. Takes out their tank too. The Nexus is wide open.
There's one more person alive.
And that's it. Team Crimson is wiped out. There it is. There's the win.
Congratulations to
Team Obsidian getting the $250 gold, the $250 prize. Hold on, wait a minute. $250 prize. That was fantastic. What
now we are going to kick it back to Mark and Jose for the awards ceremony.